everybody. How are you doing today? Let me see who's here. There's Charlotta and Isabel. Good to see you guys. Lisa, Laura, how is everyone doing? I know some of you are maybe over at that, hey, Amy Powers. The Bellicon event is going on today too, so you can always watch this on replay. Today we are here with Real Leather, and we also have our friend Jackie, who I'm going to bring in a minute. But we are going to work today on how to use leather to make hinges, latches, bindings, pen loops, whatever little accessory pieces you might want to add. And the reason that these are fun and they work so well is that the leather is flexible, whereas sometimes paper, when you fold it like a million times, it'll break down. The leather is not going to do that. So we are going to go over a couple different things. I have a lot of examples mainly, and we're going to do one. There's Karen Gartland. Hey, hi, Lisa Townsend. Marion, how are you? Brenda, good to see you guys again. I just saw Brenda and Laura at the show last week. It was so much fun. Hi, Sharon. Yes, that was a good time. It's always fun to see everybody. And also, hi from my tiny hand. Jackie, I need to get you a tiny hand.
I could use one.
It will make you happy. All right, Isabel says, I just fest with Bellicon. Okay, you got Debbie Cottons. Oh, my Lord. You are too good, Isabel. She's watching 2 at a time. Wow. All right. Hi, Raylene. How are you? I just sent your die today. Thank you. Your hand. I know. It's crazy. All right. Let me bring in Jackie and see what she is up to.
Hi, everybody.
Jackie is making something. Why don't you tell us what you're working on today, Jackie?
Well, I am making one of our kits rather terribly because I'm bad at sewing. But this one, for those of you who have people who play tabletop games and they need a home for their dice, we have this cute little leather bag. This one's currently available at Hobby Lobby, Amazon, a couple other places. It is also up on our Fair store. So those of you who might be overseas, Fair does let us ship worldwide. So that may be an option if you're like, hey, I really want your stuff, but I can't get it. You can always check on there, Fair with an E. And so I am working on sewing it. And
tell what it was before. Why it has those.
Yeah. So because I'm bad at sewing in a straight line or cutting in a straight line or all of that fun stuff, what these were swatch book holders for leathers that we get from the tanneries. And basically, these are just one really big post and screw.
Okay.
Post. Screw.
Screw.
So I just put them through the big lace holes so that all of these little itty bitty holes stay lined up.
Yeah. Very clever.
So that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
Because it's a quick, easy one that I can knock out. We are currently fighting with Amazon UK, Miss Karen. Mostly because they're taking too long to put our stuff up. But we're working on it. And all the fun things.
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm working on here. And today will probably be one of those good days. If you have questions about leather or whatever, feel free to drop them in.
All right. Well, good. That sounds great. All right. Well, I am going to be using the new dies, and that is the journal hardware, which is like perfect for this, and also the journal. I have one that I want to bind, or actually I want to make a closure for it, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So I'm going to cut some out and we'll test them out and see what would work best. So I brought just a bunch of samples, and maybe I'll show those when I turn the camera down. So let me do that. All right. And here's the dye. So I have found that I like to use the goat leather, which is pretty thin, but it will cut and score. And I like it because it's flexible. I mean, you can use this too, but this is just a nice weight. And I do have this in my Etsy store. I think I listed it. I have it. So it comes in big, like hanks, whatever you call it. All right, let me get my leather. I pre-cut some.
Well, and you are correct, Miss Isabel. There is some real leather Silver Creek stuff in the Bellicon bags. So have fun.
That's right. I forgot about that. Perfect. What was in there? Do you know, Jackie?
I want to say I know lace was definitely involved.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We may have done all lace. We may have done some lace and some other stuff.
Okay.
But
yeah. Sorry, just cutting from my short cutting thing here. All right, so I'm going to use the nice side to place over the die. And you can see here what this comes with. You may even have it already. This is like a little label, but I think if you punched a hole here and a hole here, you could use that with the lacing as like a little closure. This is a hinge. That's like a little hinge. I saw somebody do that on the cover of their journal, which looked really cute. This is like a door kind of keyhole. And this I use a lot. This is what I use for my pen loops. And this here's like a little, what do you call that? You know, like a photo turn kind of. So, nice. Yeah, you never know. All right, I'm just gonna cut this. Now, when you're cutting leather, remember to pick the holes out because they will get stuck in there. But sometimes, actually, they work to prevent other stuff from building up. So that's not always bad. All right, well, let's pop these out, and you can see all the shapes. Sometimes, because it is leather, now look at that, because I ran it through twice. I must have moved it a little bit, but that's all right. I can hardly even tell. I'm going to do one more of these, because the hinges I might want more than one. And if you get stuff on here, just take your little lint roller and get rid of it. I don't like that. I am such a messy person, but still sometimes I just can't take messiness.
Well, crafting, like baking, isn't done right if you don't make a mess.
Well, that's true. And I'm pretty good about making a mess. But just when I watch videos up again, I'm like, why didn't I get that junk off the table? But I guess you guys know what I'm doing. I am a messy crafter. Now, I would keep these too because, you know, here you maybe could cut another little label out of that if you needed it.
Oh, yeah.
So I keep these pieces. These are all pretty good sections here. And I should have moved this up a little so that I had more down here. But, you know, leather, you want to kind of use it to the best you can. All right, so that's that one. So let's see. Maybe I'll show you a couple samples. I'm just going to put this over to the side right now. But we have a couple of nice labels. And the other thing that I was thinking about doing was dyeing it with ink and seeing what happened, because I think it would work fine. So these shapes I really like. And the other day I wore my leather earrings. So
those are cute.
Yeah, I just cut these. This was a blue leather. And actually, this might be from a purse or a jacket or something. I think I bought it because I was like, what a pretty color. And so the only thing I had to do was just trim a little bit off here because it was pointy and I didn't have a jump ring big enough. Actually, that one might have worked, but they're cute. You know, they're kind of a unique shape, but they were fun to make and so easy. You just punch a hole, put the jump ring in, and then put your little earring wire in, and that's it.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So these are my pen loop ones, and the way that I do these is in fact, I was thinking about doing this one. This notebook is so messed up, but this is where I keep all of my notes for everything, and I don't have a pen with it or a pencil. So what I was thinking was you could do it a couple different ways. You can glue it together and then glue the whole thing to the back if you want to keep track of the holiday overview or whatever. Or you could put it in like this. But what I do first is I take my pen, but I always use a pencil. So I take that just to know how much I need to glue up to. And I usually do it a little tighter than I normally would, just so that it stays in there, because sometimes it relaxes a little once you get it on your page. And then I'll just glue it here and, figure out where I want it to sit. And then when
Sue Wellstead, the leather weight that Eileen is using is between a 2 and a 3 ounce. So it's a pretty thin one.
Yeah, it's pretty thin. So, yeah. But, you could use any. Let me show you some of these ones. All right, here's one. Now, this is a closure that I did. So simple. It's using this idea, but it's just a different shape. This came on another die. I'm trying to think of what one it was, but I used the button stud punch, and I like that because it comes apart a little bit here. It puts in a strike through right there so that when you close it, it can have a little room. Now, I have made extra stuff in here bigger than what I probably had when I put this closure on, and I can't really adjust it now. So I should have thought of that, because I think I might have actually added this pen, and I didn't think about it because now I have to put it in with the closure. So before you do a closure, think about that, what is going to go in here. I wasn't counting on another pen. If I didn't have that in there, it would be fine, and there's still a little bit of room, but it's okay. This, I used a different material. This is like a Craft Tex paper weight, but I do like the kind of the extra dimension, and this I embossed. I think I embossed the leather, and then I had a scrap, and it's like, oh, I could use that for my little book closure. And the reason I like to use this kind of closure is because, say I decorated up this whole cover here, I don't want to have something coming across that's going to get in the way, but you can see how this is. I used that leather glue, and it's nice and strong. I could have put it inside the book too, and it just depends on different things. Now, I have a couple samples. This is the new journal die. This is a book that Susie did, and she glued on her cover here. And this is something, I think this is called a oil tanned leather. So
that looks like an oil tan. It's got a nice pull up to it.
What's really cool is that on your hands, you have natural oils. And so if you scratch this, and you can see there are some scratches on here, if you handle this book, the oils in your hand are going to kind of cover up those scratches and just make it nice and weathered and worn looking. So what Susie did here was she took the new color wheel die, and she laid it on here, and she ran it through because she thought it looked like a compass, and I agree, it does. But she said when she did it, it didn't have that much of a pop to it. So she took her tool, her little die pick, and just went around it and kind of scratched in the design so it pops a little bit. And then found this beautiful skeleton with swords in its eyeballs and everything else.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Take it.
Then I love how she used this piece here, which we also just cut out. And that is a nice little, I would call that like a latch, because she raised it up a little bit to allow the room for the lacing to go through. And then she just looped it under when she tied her signatures into the book. She just ran that cord through here and into the lacing, so she doesn't lose these every time when she opens the book. And then, you know, you can see that the covers are just glued to the spine, and she's got 3 little signatures of books that she stitched in. Your favorite thing, Jackie, stitching.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then she just tied it with the lacing, so it's pretty handy.
Nice.
She also used this piece from the, I was wondering where my hand was. This die, the main die, you know, that does the cover and the spine, also comes with these pieces, so they're a nice size. I love where she placed it. She just has a good eye for that stuff. And then she took some brads. Actually, she was covering up something she had embossed, and so she just added the brads in and flipped them to the underside of this piece and then glued the whole thing on, and found a really great quote about wanderlust. So I love how she finished this up. This is nice if you're trying to make like a Father's Day present, or, you know, anything kind of masculine. But I think it's cool if you need a pirate journal, you know, she's got it. All right, what else? Here are a couple other ones that I've done that just show you how much I love my little pen loop and my pencil. I love having it. I always carry a white eraser so that if I have to erase, I can. This is my old notebook that, this is actually, I really like this system where you take washi tape, and then when you're done with each day's list or whatever, you put it on there so you know where you're up to in your book.
Well, that's intelligent.
Well, I saw it somewhere else, of course. And then this is another little embossed, you know, I embossed it, and then this one I attached inside the book. But this is a nice piece of leather, and I think I used the fuzzy side. I don't know why, but I did. So I use these all the time, and that is probably my favorite, most used piece on that die. All right, what else? Oh, here's the one that we did last time. I just wanted to show you how it came out. I laced it up, which I hadn't done on the first one, but this is that same die. And I just threaded my lacing through all the pages. And the trick about this was keeping it at the right tension so that it wasn't so tight that I could not turn the pages. That's not useful. So this one is pretty much good because I can lay it flat. And I kept these cards that I had embossed together. Like, I didn't cut them. I kept them as a card and then just added in my pages. And I kind of like how this came out, like a little junk journal. And I did the only thing I was disappointed in was I did the rub-on. I feel like it didn't pop as much because I had done yellow behind it. But still, it's still cute. And I could still attach some charms or something. So this is another way that you can bind your dies using leather, using this lacing. So let's see what else here. Now this one is cool because this is one that Amy did. Really cute paper. Everybody loves this paper. Then she did some 3D elements, a little mushroom, and Amy, are you still here? Everybody loves this book. So she's got these cute little fold-outs and some ticket stubs, receipt for certified mail, little pocket pages. And so you can add whatever you want in here. But what I like about it, well, I like all of it, but I like the look of the leather spine with the paper cover. You know, it just adds, it makes it look classy to me. And then she stitched it in, and it's so cute. So this is a really cute one. Feels nice and sturdy in your hand. All right. Let's see what else we have here. I did Susie's. This is one that I did. I think I did this on a live the other day, but I did the same idea, except this time I used this piece here for the closure, and I used the button stud on the end, and that is how I close my book. So this one is a little junk journal, fun. And, you know, you could add little tabs with leather popping up. You know, I think the more elements you add, the cooler it is. That one was a stamp. I'm still not done with this, but I'm hoping to do this before I go, but who knows. Anyway, see, that could be a cute little leather tab popping up. So here's another one. And I do like the addition of the little hinge here, or the latch. This is one that I stitched by hand. And this is actually, you could use the lacing, Jackie, that you're using right now, wax linen, to even stick your books up. Stamperium paper, Amy says. I didn't even look. Let's go to Jackie and see what she's up to. You ready, Jackie?
Oh, sure.
Popping in. How's it going?
It is going. So with most of our leathercraft kits, if they involve sewing, you sew down the one way and then turn around and go back the other way. One, not only does it help keep your kit put together, it also just reinforces the leather, reinforces whatever it is that you're doing, because kind of like a pillow, once I get back to the beginning, which I actually have enough thread for.
You're almost there.
You turn this right side out. So, yes. So right now this is inside out because this is the soft side. Yeah.
Pretty that way too, though.
Yeah, this is the soft side of our deer tan leather, so it's pretty soft to the touch. It's also going to help. So if you have a favorite dice set, they don't get too chipped, mangled, all that fun stuff. It'll help absorb all of that.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'm almost back to the top. Yay.
Now, what are you gonna do? Are those holes, those what do you call those screws? Are you just gonna take them out and then you're gonna put your drawstring through, or?
Yeah, I'm more or less using these as stitching pins.
Right. Yeah.
Just because, then, because if I didn't, then I would have to either tie scrap string or use a paper clip or something to keep some of these holes in line.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's and then I mean it's a 4-piece kit, little donut,
little button,
and then the thick boy string.
Oh wow!
So this is our straight cut lace. It's 1/8 of an inch thick. This goes through the big hole.
Okay.
And then that's what makes it cinch.
Okay.
Once you get that far.
Yeah. When you get to that, can you tell us? Because I want to see you do that.
Yeah. Okay. I can do it.
All right. In the meantime, I'm just going to go. Wait a minute. Which way? I'm going the wrong way. Wait a minute. I picked the wrong camera. All right.
See, this is how you know this is a live production.
They have no doubt of that. All right. Now, this is another journal that I made, and I did stitch that with the Coptic stitch. But what I don't like about it is that I didn't really pull these tight to it. So I was thinking, it kind of caves in. See what I mean? Like down here. So I was thinking I could just add a binding to it.
Yeah.
And glue it on. I think that would look fine. And I could add like maybe some decorative stitches here, but I would have to do that first. They would just be basically, for show, not actually holding it together because it already is. But I don't think that would kind of impede the opening and closing of it because it does go nice and flat. So I think I am going to do this. And the other thing that I did to mess this up was I got some luster wax on here. So I'm kind of thinking, and this is glue, I think. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I will add some luster wax to it, even though this is not technically a latch or a hinge or anything. But while I'm at it, I need to get some stuff done. You know what I mean? Ugh. All right, let's just do this. And then I do have another thing that I want to do. And I probably should, if I was smart, put on the gloves, but I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm just going to brush this down really lightly. I was going to try not to get it in there, but it's too late. There's these open patches. This design is not that intense, so it's easy to go lower, but I still think that looks pretty. And since I have done it now, I think I'm not going to care. And I need to do this before I add that binding, so this is pretty fun, I will say. These streaks are so cool. Doesn't that just make that pattern pop?
It really does.
That is beautiful. All right, now I'm going to cover up the glue. So see, you can always fix stuff. Hopefully.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Jackie, you're so positive. I love when you're here.
Well, I mean, there's always an undo button. Sometimes it's just getting creative.
Finding it, yeah. Yes, they know that. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what, that stinks. I'm throwing it out. But not too often, because I get mad. It's like if I spend all that time on that, I'm just going to end it a different way than what I originally thought. All right, I think that looks cool. And I also think when we add that binding, that is going to be a nice contrast, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of tell that that's the same leather? I guess when you open it, you'll see.
Yeah, when you open it, you can, because the back will look and feel the same.
All right. All right, I'm putting this off the table and down behind me because I do not want to get that on anything. All right. I'm going to let this dry for a minute, but I think I'm going to do that. I think that would be pretty. And I'm just going to, well, I do want to do the lacing. Look at that. Got it on there. All right. I can cut another one, but I'm just going to set that aside. And now let's look at these, because I did want to dye something. I don't know what color. Let's see what's here. I have my rainbow Catherine Pooler inks, but you also could use the markers, which I don't have out, but you could do that. And in fact, Jackie and I were talking and we were saying, you know, the color wheel, you could take, especially on the goat, which is an unfinished, you could like emboss a color wheel on a piece of the goat and then use your markers to color in, so you know exactly what color it is when you are looking for a marker, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm getting this off my hand. Okay, so let me move this stuff out of the way. Oh, and I did have another idea too. We were talking about using these as hinges and latches. This is one that I did, if you guys remember, I think around Christmas time. It was, that's the one I made. This one was a thinner leather. I think this one worked better. And I think I put my magnet in the back, but this is like a little watercolor journal that we did. And this is just a little piece of leather that I glued to the back, and it's a nice little hinge. And then it clicks on the front. That way there's nothing in the way, and it just sits nice and clean. And I really like this, how this came out. And it looks very simple, but just, and then we glued the hinges here, and we crisscrossed the little leather lacing. All right. Oh, here was something. I don't know if I showed you these, but this was, I made a bunch of these keychains at Christmas for my family for, I think this is a snap, but maybe not. Can't remember. It might be a rivet. Can you tell by looking?
Oddly enough, I can tell, but yeah, that's a snap.
But I think I took it apart just now. I don't think it's snapping like it's supposed to. I think this was when I was getting the hang of snaps. And I probably didn't get that hang too well.
You know what? It's okay. We have more snaps.
Yeah. Well, I could just give that a whack with my little hammer. But I think this piece here was something that I had on a die, and I just used this to attach it to my little hardware piece here. And this was a leaf that I had embossed with an embossing folder, and they love these. And, you know, it just makes me happy when the kids come over and they have their keys and they have something I made on it. Because sometimes I'm pretty lame, you know, I'm the mom. So what do I know? What else? All right, let's make, here's my journal that I was, oh yeah, okay. So this is a project that I made yesterday on our Bella event. And we made this little book. So if you're in there, you were there when we made it. I'm going to take these out right now. But I just want to make a little latch for this. But I think what I want to do is color this, because this is not bad actually, but I think it would be pretty. And I think I'm gonna do it on this side where it doesn't have the score lines, because I don't know, I think I just want to have it plain. So let's just see what happens here. Jackie, did I tell you I saw David at the trade show?
Oh,
yeah,
I knew he went.
Yes,
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
All of the things, but I did know that he was up there.
Yeah, yeah, we had a nice chat. Coral Cabana. And I have to think about how I want to. That might work. That looks dark, but that could work too. And now Jackie, as a leather expert.
Oh boy.
I'm thinking that maybe I would use like a paintbrush. Or, wait a minute, you know what? No, maybe I'll just use a brush.
Paintbrush, brush, sponge.
Yeah, this. All right, let's try this. Oh, you know what I could do is make it reversible. I could do one color on one side and one on the other. Do you think that goes with that?
I think it gives it a different pop of color because it's a cool tone with a whole bunch of warm tones.
Yeah, all right. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting.
And that's the other fun thing about using leather too. Leather behaves differently because it's a Thursday, because it's a Sunday, because it's
what it wants.
Hot, it's cold, it's just right.
Yeah.
My dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
all of the things.
All of the above.
So it
you know, it almost looks, because I did the fuzzy side, like a fabric, like a flannel or something.
Yeah.
And you know, you could stamp something on there if you wanted. Like, no, well, see, I'm gonna have my little button stud there, so no. Let's try though. Let's make it reversible. So let's see what happens over here, because this is the finished side and this is the unfinished. So it didn't really sink in, but I bet if I spritzed it with water, it would sink down into the fibers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty too. I kind of like that. I'm not an orange person or a purple person, but this is kind of pretty, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, orange and purple are kind of opposite the color wheel from each
Yes.
other.
Yeah.
I did learn that much from art.
Very good. Still learning. I do know it's opposite the color wheel now that I've colored in a lot of color wheels. But those feel like Halloween colors to me.
I can see that.
Yeah. And maybe green, which is another secondary color. All right, I'm going to wipe this off because I do not want this making marks on my book. Although this side, I'm not sure. This may leave some kind of color. Although it didn't come off on here, so let's see what that looks like. I don't know. That's a lot. What do you think? Too much? Is it garish?
I think it picks up the yellow in that one flower.
Yeah. You know what? I might get some brown and kind of just tone that down a little bit. Uh-oh. Where's my... Wait a minute. I lost my screen here.
Oh, no.
Okay. We're okay. I moved something. Okay. All right. I don't want to do this too much, but just a tiny bit. Okay. That's... I'm not even sure how much that's doing, but this pad might...
it's tempering. It's tempering the yellow a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It also does look more leathery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, we do have brown in the there too. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, that looks like a mellowed orange. All right, so if we wanted to do this really easily, we could just get our leather glue and glue both sides. Let's just try this one. Well, that's pretty too. And it is soft. Which one do you like better, Jackie? This, A, or B? Pretend you're getting your check.
One or two. I mean, I actually kind of like the yellow because it makes that other flower pop even more.
Yeah, it does. It does. And you can see that. Even if I added in some stuff, you still can see that. All right. Okay, so let's just do that. I'm going to... You know what I might do, though? I might put it inside. Although... Oh, that's fine. There's some of that on there, too. All right, so now I have to think about how fat is this book going to get? And what I can do is, you know, if I do that, maybe I could put a pen through there. Kind of liking that. But then if the book did grow and get fatter, then you would take the pen out and just, you know, it would have more room. I am doing that. All right, let me glue this one on first. That's the back. Oh, whoa. Came out before I knew it. This glue is really good for leather.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Very strong. All right, let's see what I was going to do here. All right. I'm just going to put my pen in so I can know that I have room for it. All right. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to make a mark on here because I'm going to punch a hole. Let me get my hole punch in 1 second. Are you up to where you need to show us, Jackie, your
I am very close. Yes.
All right. Okay. Let me just punch this hole, and then we're going to go to you. Okay.
Go for it. And Elizabeth, the glue that is being used is called Phoebing's Leathercraft Cement Leather Adhesive. It depends on what website you're on.
Yeah.
But, it is.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I have it in my Etsy store if anybody needs it.
Yes. And
or you get it on Fair or all the other.
Oh, yes. All of the places.
Yes. You need a good glue. That is for sure. All right. So,
all right.
Are you ready?
Whenever you are.
All right. Let me just make sure I get this straight because I can't really see. All right. Let me go to you.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh boy. All right. So I did already flip the bag in right side out.
Okay.
So when you do that, it does kind of get a little bit more heft on the bottom.
Okay.
So if you set it down, it does kind of stand up a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is a good thing. And then, if I actually follow the directions, it says something about fold the lace in half and then do some weaving.
Oh.
I never remember where half is.
Oh, okay.
So I just use a little fine tip Sharpie and put a black dot where about halfway is.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
Yep. And then because of how these holes are, it's just an over-under stitch. It's not really weaving, but
Okay.
Come on. And then, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bag to where that dot is.
Okay.
So that when...
Oh, then you know it's halfway.
Yep, because what's going to happen is that halfway point should line up with that seam.
Okay, gotcha.
Because... Come on. Go in the thingy.
Okay.
So, like, if you have family members who were scouts way, way back in the day, they may have done a medicine pouch or a suede bag kit.
Yeah.
Same basic principle, different leather.
Okay.
And so then, like I said, it's not quite even, but okay. And then with the donut or the button or whatever you'd like to call this.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering how that worked.
Yeah. So you kind of shove your lace in two of the holes and then you stitch back through the other ones because you're supposed to fold it in half, but this leather doesn't like to stay folded in half by itself.
Yeah.
So then once you pull through, and again, mine's not entirely even, but again, this is me. It's for my stuff, so I don't really care.
Well, you could trim it. I mean...
Oh, yeah. Well, and then you pull, and then that's what helps.
Oh, to keep it
cinch your bag.
Yes, I love that idea.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Oh, that's cool.
And then I'm just going to do a quick...
tie a knot at the end.
Overhand.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, yeah, because it can't get any bigger than that. Yeah.
Right. And so that's as far as it's going to go.
That's great.
The donut just helps you close and open the bag.
Yeah.
That's what provides the tension.
Yeah.
Great for dice. Great for if you take crafting on the go.
Yeah.
And you need little things to put, like that embroidery floss that always gets lost because you're camping.
That's right.
It'll fit in here. So.
That is so good that it cinches because otherwise it would just stay open and what good is it? Well, you could tie it, but it would still would take longer.
Oh yeah. And or if you're me, and you always have to have your snacks and your treats and all of that.
Yes.
Those fit in there. The Dr. Pepper can will fit in here.
All right.
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a quick, simple one. Like,
It's cute.
I know there are probably a lot of grandmas, aunts, moms, and I know school years are winding down. And
Yes.
in June, it's fine.
Yeah.
July, we're bored. August, please go back to school now.
Yes.
But this is something that kids could do even
Yeah.
with the sewing. It is really just an over under stitch.
Right.
And
They
the
could
nice
make
part
it.
the nice part about our needles, yes, they have a point, but
Yeah. It's
they're
blunt.
they're not really poke ow.
Yeah.
You'll feel it.
Right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't feel great,
Right.
but it won't
it's not going to
hurt
pierce
you.
the skin or anything. Yeah. All right. Well,
But
let's
yes.
see. Some people had some comments. The bag is awesome, says Kay Lynn. Her 3 brothers were all Eagle Scouts. Her dad was a leader for 35 years. Wow. Dorothy says, I have had my niece here today making me throw away crafty toys. What? Oh,
For shame.
Dorothy, you have to call me. Come on now. That's not right. There's Rhonda. How are you, Rhonda? All right, Karen's going to use it for a cigarette and lighter.
Yep. I mean, hey, or if you really wanted to, you could. You could put like jewelry findings on this.
Yes, that would be cute.
And then throw your ID, your
yeah, and
your
phone.
wallet. Yes.
Do you think your phone would fit in there?
My phone might be a little tall, but if I was just going down to the river stage locally, which is 3 blocks from my house, yeah, it'll fit.
And you can pull it out too. You don't have to dig around in it. That is cute. And we forgot to talk about a giveaway, but do you think that would be a good giveaway, don't you think?
I do.
And now you guys saw how to make it. So what should we have people do? Because they've already signed up for Instagram.
Oh,
maybe they could tell us some ideas for latches and hinges and or
Oh yeah, and any and all of that. And what I will do, you can post them in the fan club. You can post them on the Real Leather page. You can post them on Instagram in your stories. Just don't forget to tag us. Tag Real Leather, and then I'll see it. And I'll put whoever decides to participate on a spinner wheel. And you know what? I'll give y'all a week to do it because I know some of y'all are going to catch this on the replay. Right. Some of y'all are doing 12 things and you're going to rewatch it again anyway. Yes. So this time, next Thursday, I will be spinning. If you get a DM from Real Leather, that was me.
That's her. Okay. All right. Dorothy says, to be fair, I've crafted various things since I was 7, now 92. All right. You probably have a good supply of stuff, Dorothy. Fair. So, I think maybe your niece wanted some of your stuff. Could that be it? And who wouldn't? I bet Dorothy has an amazing stash. Probably. All right. Laura says the little journals might fit in. That is true. It could be. You could fit. Yeah. What is the size of it? Do you know? Maybe 5 by 7, something like that.
5 1/4 by 6-ish. It kind of really depends on how consistent you are with your stitching. Because our holes are a little big. Okay. But that's okay.
Yeah.
But these are from one of our tanneries.
Okay.
But those fit in here too.
Yeah.
They fit.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, a little pen and notebook for your ideas when you're thinking
all the
about
things
ideas all the time. Braided cords would be pretty, Caitlin. I like that idea.
Yeah.
We also said great for traveling. It would be.
Yeah. I was using the lace that came in the kit. This one's probably not quite big enough for glasses unless you have those really cool fold-up kinds.
Yeah.
But we do have a glasses kit, not in this leather. But it does exist.
Well, maybe next time.
This is one that I made out of a scrap leather that I found, but we do have that.
Oh, is that a magnet? That's neat.
Yeah, it's a magnet clasp.
Oh, that I love them.
Yep.
And yeah, maybe.
So when I put my red glasses in the red case, it all works.
Oh, it's perfect. I love it. All right. That sounds good. All right.
So how are you going? Because they can see me.
I have not done one thing. Wait a minute.
Oh boy.
I've just been sitting here looking at your beautiful stuff that you're doing because I wanted to know how to do it. But what I'm going to do is, oh, wait a minute. Now this is I brought my little, see, I could do a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm going to do is do my button punch. So I need to punch this. Where did I put my hole? Now I'm not sure exactly what size that needs to be. So hopefully, and I am cutting through mat board here, but it did it fine. All right, and let me get my tool coming out here, my button hole punch kit. Also have them in the Etsy store if you feel the need. These are handy. I like these, and they're so easy. The only thing is you need to whack it pretty well.
That is true.
Yeah.
So sometimes too, not necessarily with like leather that you've painted, things like that, but if you know, oh hey, I'm gonna put a button stud on this, that kind of thing. When you get leather wet the first time, go ahead and punch your holes, because the wet leather will help drive that tool.
You think that would be easier to do
it? I that is what I have done. Because you're good now that it's like painted and finished and all of that.
Yeah, that's true. So do it on wet might not be. Yeah. All right. Now, the last time I did this, I punched it so the little slit part is inside, so it made it easier to slide that in. So I'm going to do that, and I just want to make sure it's centered to the back. All right, I think I might need to have room here. Oh, that was no problem at all. I forgot I'm using the
goat.
So it just went right in there. Not a problem. All right.
Like the buttonhole punch is something that you all can use, not necessarily exclusively with button studs. You're working on something where it's like, I wish it would go a little bit more.
Yeah.
That just having that little groove behind
the hole, it does
helps.
I know.
So much.
Yeah, it does. All right, so I just put my little stud in here and just screwed on one side, and now I'm just gonna, oh, look at that. That's cute, don't you think?
Yes.
I think that came out great. So you can see how flexible, and look at that. I do like the two-sided. And then you can add your little things in here. So there you go.
And button studs do come in other colors. So
yeah.
If the antique look is more your speed, there's antique brass and all that fun stuff too.
Yes. Hey, Leslie Miller. She is coming from a cruise, for heaven's sakes. Leslie, she's so dedicated, unless you're home. And Michelle says they're under a tornado warning, so you'll see if you can make it to the end of the... And it cuts off. Wait a minute.
I'm thinking she means stream.
Wait a minute. I'm clicking too many. Uh-oh. I hope you're okay, Michelle. Let us know. There is, who else is here? Linda West. Good to see you. All right. So what did we say? We're going to have them
Just ideas and things with what they would do with leather
any of
to
these.
do things.
Yeah.
Closures, hinges, pen loops,
Latches.
whatever. All the
Yes.
things.
Right.
Just
So I probably, yeah, but I still want to,
just don't forget to tag real leather.
Yes.
And I for sure will see it, because even though my personal page is in the fan club too, I don't always get the notifications on the personal side, but I get them all the time for real leather.
So you just tag @ and real leather.
Yep.
Any ideas? If there's ideas of things you want us to do, we can do that. Always looking to, do what you guys are looking for. And these tools are very sturdy. I have to say, I have been so lucky working with companies that have good tools, because I'll tell you what, if I really, before I buy a tool, I look at it and you can try it maybe, but if you can't, you're just like hoping it's going to work. And it's very disappointing when you get a tool that doesn't work. But I'll tell you what, this is one of my favorites. And this buttonhole punch, I mean, think of all the things that you can do with this to attach things to your journals, or just do these latches and closures. Oh, and that one that I wanted to show you, it's not here, but this is kind of what she did. She took these and just,
oh, that's cute.
Additionally, and they're just decorative. In fact, she might have glued it to the spine she already had, but it just looks cute. And then this is the other one that you could do, is this little piece here that gives kind of like a Game of Thrones-y look to it.
Yeah.
But this is a fun heart too. So this is cut out. So this you could use on a page, if you want to put a little brad in there and use it to close like a little, like this here, maybe to keep those in, that's cute. Or this, like I said, you know what? I'm just going to, while I'm at it, I'm going to punch a hole, because I want to try using this as a little closure or like a label. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Look how easy that goes through. Oh, man. This might be what is your favorite tool, Jackie? Do you have one?
Not exactly. It kind of depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of the power punch. It is very helpful.
Yes.
But I also like our stylus tip.
Oh.
We have a modeler. We have a modeler and stylus tool. It's a dual-ended. But what the stylus tip does is, if I'm working on like wanting to put hand either carved or
wait, let me put you
or a pattern.
Yeah. So good.
Okay. Point. What a coinky dink. I work somewhere where there's leather on my desk all the time.
Rub it in.
I wish. Come visit.
I would love to.
Yeah, that one's the water.
Yeah.
So, with a stylus, if I have like a tracing pattern or what have you, I can put that vellum over top of the leather, and then, not that you can really see it because it's really, really faint.
Yeah.
But and as my camera has trouble focusing because words, but
okay, yeah,
it says like, hi.
Oh, wow.
But cute. What the tip will do is it will help draw those lines so that I can then go back in either with a swivel knife or the stamping tool, or sometimes I use it to draw a line if I'm putting a lot of letters on something.
Okay.
So that way I know where the straight line is.
Yes, that's good to know.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, if Eileen wanted to come up here, I'll set up a streaming studio here. We'll
That
figure it out. I can do it.
I just passed through Indiana. Where in Indiana are you?
So our company headquarters is located in southern Indiana, right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh,
So,
all right. All right. Well, I used to live there in Fort Campbell.
okay, yeah. So we are in Jeffersonville.
Okay.
So that is where all of the things happen.
Well, you never know where I'm going to end up, so don't be surprised.
Hey, we'll make it work.
All right.
We have power.
Yeah. All right. All right. What's up with the hand? Yeah, that's a little interesting. The hand is, we started a thing at the trade show called the Tiny Hand Society that is designed to promote love, peace, and joy in our community. And so I got a bunch of these little hands, and everybody who bought a journal bundle, they got a little hand. So we still have to do our induction ceremony. But if you put an order in, let me know, and I'll put a little hand in your package. But Debbie is going to be here, so just leave her a note and just say, Debbie, Eileen said you would send a hand. So I'm going to bring some with me, and I need to send one to Jackie also. So anyway, David has his hand. So he has already been inducted. There's a secret handshake and an oath that you have to take.
Okay.
Nothing scary. You're already doing it if you're crafting. So anyway, we'll do, maybe when I get back, we'll do a group induction. All right. Well, I think that we are all set. You think, Jackie?
I think so. And the other thing too that you all can always ask too is if you have questions about leather, or how do they make leather that looks like this?
What?
Or like this?
Where did you get that?
Scrap bin?
Oh man, I need to get some of that.
I will see if I can find some more, but yeah, I think I found this one a couple of years ago in a scrap bin somewhere.
It looks like vinyl almost, or
yeah, but nope, it's printed leather.
I would love to know how they do that.
Yeah, so if you have questions, things like that, feel free to put them. I'm volunteering Eileen's forum for this.
Yeah, no, ask questions. I may not know the answer, but Jackie will.
Yeah, and if I don't, I can always make sure to have those answers the next time we go live, so that whether that's our leather guy here who does know all the answers, or if it's an answer from Greg, things like that.
Okay,
we'll have it for you.
That sounds. We could do sometime maybe a Q&A with Greg, or Greg and whoever's wants to do it.
Oh yes, I'm sure I can arrange that.
Yeah, we could ask people to, have their questions ready, or even have them so we could give them to them ahead of time. So maybe,
or even, hey, I know you keep talking about leather in weights and ounces, and what does that mean?
Yeah,
we have that.
Wow, cool.
I will see about doing a factory tour. I could do that. I'd have to take my computer around with me. Not that that's a problem.
Well,
but we'll see.
All right. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again, Jackie. You're so helpful and encouraging, and I love chatting with you. And I know
there's always an undo button.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might take 3 months to find it. But
well, that's true.
But
sometimes we need the do button because we can't figure it out. But you got all that technology figured out. She's a whiz, guys. Anyway.
But me and my desk buddy wish all of you happy time zone, because I know some of you are in different time zones in different countries and things like that. So good time zone and happy crafting.
All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you. I don't know when. I've recorded some videos, so you'll be seeing that. And you never know when I'll pop up.
Oh,
all right. All right. Thanks again, Jackie. See you soon. See you next month.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.